A very good evening, everybody. Nice to have your company wherever you're tuning in all around Australia, all around the world, be it via YouTube or Facebook. This is SimShed Broadcasting, bringing you all the action of Friday Night Motorsport for the Gentleman Sim Racing Club for the last time in the month of February and for the last time in the summer of 2021. And no better way to kick it off than with some Freaky Friday action from the Circuit de la Sarthe in Le Mans, France. We'll get to that in just a moment. Good evening, everybody. Zach Cabin and Nick Fodiatis with you. Welcome to our live and exclusive coverage of Friday Night Motorsport for this Friday, the 26th of February, 2021. Busy weekend in Sim World, busy weekend in the real world as far as motorsport is concerned. And we're kicking it all off right here, right now, with a very unique double header. We've got the Radicals in action from the Circuit de la Sarthe, and we've got the Indycars in action from Sonoma, California, to end midway point of the season. This is halfway week. We get to the end of tonight. We're 5 rounds down, 5 rounds to go across all our series. Nick, good evening to you. On the back of the drama that we had in the Porsches last night, I think we might have a little bit more laid-back fun tonight with the Circuit de la Sarthe action for Freaky Friday. And then, of course, who knows what to expect when we get to the IndyCars, given the fact that we've gone 4 rounds and have 4 different winners so far.
Yeah, oh, look, 13 kilometres. There should be enough room to spread out here. This car and track combo is a cracker. Other than the P1s, these things are lightning quick around here. So expect to see fast lap times, fast cars, fast pit stops, fast drivers. And then we go to the IndyCar, which it's going to be, I guess, the opposite because it's one of the tightest tracks I can think of. But we'll see with the competition caution and all that happening too. But how good is this presentation, by the way?
Fantastic. SimShed Broadcasting up in the ante as per usual on a Friday night. We'll update you on the SimShed Broadcasting schedule later on in the night. We'll update you on the Gentleman Sim Racing Club broadcast schedule later on in the night as well, so that you know where to tune in and catch all your sim racing action. Quickly to the championship points as far as Freaky Friday is concerned. And we are 4 rounds in. Gary Cousins is the 4-man here at the moment. He's on the grid again tonight. He leads 100, playing Adam Laver 60 and Adam Coghlan 55, Jackson Rayhana 47 and Jonathan Turner 35. Now, what's interesting here, only 6 drivers have clocked a lap in qualifying. And, Nick, it's so hard to piece. I mean, sure, it's only a 3.5-minute lap. There aren't too many corners when you compare it, if I can spit my words out properly, to the Nordschleife and the Nürburgring in Germany. But one small off track, you lose your lap. It's easy to do.
And then you have to drive another 13 kilometres back around again.
Exactly.
Lap, so that really sucks. Personally, I just sit it out. You've already done enough practice, and starting from the back's not always a bad thing around here, especially to the first 2 chicanes or Tete Rouge leading onto the Mulsanne. So that's what I do personally. But hey, look, every lap counts and every lap's a new experience. So good on these guys for giving it a crack.
Exactly. Of course, 10 weeks, 10 cars, 10 combinations in terms of cars and circuit, as voted on by these guys. But the thing is, when they get the polls opening at the end of the race tonight, they only vote for a number. They don't know the track and car combo until 24 hours before we go green. So that's the beauty of the Freaky Friday concept in 2021. We've got about 3 minutes here before the race gets underway because obviously, given the length of the lap at Le Mans, even though the clock's expired, there's a lot of time to elapse before they call the server closed and progress into the race portion of it. 13.63 kilometres, 38 turns. That's still a fair chunk, I should point out. Le Mans, France, the venue, of course, steeped in history, this track and this event and this part of the world for so many reasons. 70% fuel limit on these cars tonight. It's the Dallara P217 LMP2. They're decked out. They look like a Radical from the front. And at the back, they've just got a little bit more tow, of course. They've got a little bit more go. So check this out. 26th of the 2nd, 2021. Server time, 16:15. And that's going twice as fast as it normally does. So every second is 2 seconds in server time. So by the end, we should be nearing sunset at the Circuit de la Sarthe. given that they are not yet back in daylight saving over there, given that they are still in winter. So a couple of things to pay attention to there. 25 degrees and partly cloudy in the sky. On track, it's 27. Paced car speed, should we need one? Well, that'll just about kill the race, really. 85 kilometres an hour. Pit lane speed is 60 kilometres an hour. The race will be 40 minutes in length. 20X is where penalties will first start being handed out, and 7X thereafter, every 7X thereafter, I should say. So, yeah, that's just about all the info I can give you with regards to this circuit. Nick, I was going to say we'd normally get you to take us for a lap of the Circuit de la Sarthe, but it's pretty well known enough that we don't need to do that tonight. That being said, I'm looking forward to some of the onboard shots here and listening to the noise of these cars, because by gee, they go like Donkey Kong around here. 3 minutes 31, the lap time for Gary Cousins to secure pole position in the closing stages here from Andre Youssef and Adam Coughlin's about 4 seconds back. So the first two are very close together, the second two very close together, the third two very close together, and then Jason Dunn's just lurking at the back there. But who knows what's going to unfold over 40 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, somebody from the back could do something really smart and get around all sorts of crashes or pit stop really well. So it's on for young and old here.
It certainly is. 50 seconds until we get going. There's all the information you need to know on your screen there. This is, of course, a very big way for us to end week 5 of the season. And let me see if I can help you out there, Nick, because I've just got your message off air here.
Thank you.
I should be able to help you out.
I think I missed the link to it, so yeah.
That's all right. That's all good. Happy days. Just quickly talk to us about IndyCar. While we've got 50 seconds here to preview that race tonight, it's going to be massive, the old IndyCar halfway mark race from Sonoma in California. And given the fields we've seen thus far, no reason why we can't add a new winner to the list there.
Well, exactly. I believe with all the undulation, thank you guys, with the undulation and the track going off into the weeds, so to speak, and coming back, there's all sorts of things on offer on this particular track. Blind corners, fast corners, slow corners, hairpin corners, drag strip even. So it's a wide variety of things. Be prepared for a lot of crashes. I dare say people just going wide on exits of turns and spinning across the road. I hope I don't get caught up in that. And then if that wasn't enough, we'll throw a safety car in there as well. So, yeah, it's going to be absolutely just bonkers the whole way, and it's a nice short track too. Not to take anything away from this one. This long track will spread the guys out enough, I feel, and with these long straights, you can have enough room to tow up to somebody and actually make a good pass here. So it should be good.
All right, we'll have a look at the grid for you in just a moment. In fact, there it is right now on cue. It's Gary Cousins and Andre Youssef on the front row, Adam Coughlin and Paul Nichols the second row, Adam Lavis, Jared Daly the third row, Jason Dunn and Braden Adolph the fourth row, Chris Starks on the fifth row alongside Matthew Dench, but there are a few cars missing from the grid here from Stark down. Actually, it would appear I think we've only got 8 cars lining up for the start here. So no Stark, no Dench, no Selbywood, no Reinhardt, no Gray, and Braden Adolph was showing on the grid there.
Might be starting from the pits.
Could no.
There is a default rule: if you don't set a lap, you must start from pit lane.
Yeah, so 2, 4, 6, 8. We'll see if there's anyone in pit lane. I'm sure. Adolph is just showing down there in 8th position on the server. So. But he's down on as the 13th name on the list. So it'll be interesting to see how all that plays out when they come round. We'll have a bit more of an idea of what we're playing with the next 40 minutes here. 3.5 minutes a lap. So what's that? 7 gives you 2. So we're heading for no more than 12 laps for this race tonight. Throw in a pit stop as well,
I was gonna say, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. Could it just be one pit stop, surely?
I'm not sure. I guess it all depends on how much they're burning. I haven't got the fuel burn numbers, unfortunately, but we did a practice race earlier in the year, and Jared Daly set it up, but it ended up being an out lap, a fast lap, and then an in lap. That's how much he restricted the fuel. So it could be anything. Could be anything.
We'll wait and see. 70% fuel limit on these cars, so we'll wait and see what that equates to. Gary Cousins, Andre Youssef, front row, confirming Braden Adolph is that car at the back of the grid there. Despite the fact that he didn't set the time and quality, he is starting on track. We'll wait and see how all this plays out. I don't think anyone's going to win. There's only 8 of them out there. Surely they're not racing for sheep stations that seriously in a field this small. Let's wait and see. Well, yeah, things have been a little bit antsy in parts over the last couple of days, but we'll talk about that later. Getting set for a start, the famed Circuit de la Sarthe, home of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Tonight we go sports car racing on Freaky Friday. And immediately Gary Cousins hit the gas and get going. Andre Yusuf draws up alongside. It's a drag race between the two of them on the run up towards the first corner. And Cousins has been swamped around the outside. Andre Yusuf leads us to the chicane at the top of the hill.
3 wide at the back there.
Surely it's too early for that.
I was going to say. Words through
We've got a flash graphics flashback already. So this doesn't bode well. Adam Coggle into turn 1.
He gets too much power in the spin. There it is.
There we go.
That's all right.
So Cogle's now down in 8th.
He'll catch up.
There's plenty of time. And there's plenty of track to work with as well. So even though we're only looking at about... Whoa! Jared Daly just got poleaxed. He's just been swamped and passed by Jason Dunn going down the first of the long straights here. Of course, we do have chicanes in play tonight as well.
At Tech Rouge, if you cut the track too much on the apex or you use too much exit, you will get what they call a slowdown. I think that's what's going to happen here. You have too much exit space there. You can see there in the yellow car.
Yeah.
And he has to slow down to clear his penalty, or else he gets a drive-through, and then, yeah, that's him slowing down. It's going to say 50 kilometres an hour difference there.
I was going to say easily. That was just incredible to watch, just how quick these cars move. And again, 12 by 13. So, I mean, if it does run 12 laps, that's still 156 kilometres. That'll be the longest Freaky Friday race in terms of kilometres so far this season, if memory serves. So, and of course, we're in the fastest car apart from the Williams F1 car. They had the Williams F1 car back in week 1. Of course, we weren't on air for that. So, I mean, okay, Williams aren't all they're cracked up to be these days, but they're still probably going toe-to-toe with these sports cars in terms of outright straight-line speed.
That's it. As you see down here at Mulsanne Corner, Adam Maverick, during the week broadcast, they're giving it a crack.
Well, this is the thing, right? We're so glad that we've got SimShed Broadcasting on board for Friday nights because it actually allows Adam Lavis to do something other than sit there and push buttons for us.
Yeah. He's pursuing Paul Nichols now down into the Indianapolis area, behind all those trees, into Indianapolis, and then short run to Anage. And Paul Nichols is sporting the, Lightning McQueen livery on his car.
I love it. Very nicely done, Paul Nichols.
Through Anage, and then run down to the Porsche curves. So you can see the front two have gotten away, then they got the next two, and then you got a bunch behind them.
Now, it's interesting. We talk about our Monday, Wednesday, Thursday button pusher. Well, our Friday night button pusher is also jumping into the sim rig over the weekend. He's going to have a steer in the Bathurst 12-hour this weekend. Of course, it's official 12-hour weekend. The club's throwing quite a few entries at that as well. We wish everyone the very best of luck, but Paul Nichols will give us more details with regards to that later on, I am sure.
Yeah, like
the
you
3.5 minutes already gone.
I was just about to say, like you said, lots of cars going in from this club, all the different teams. It should be good. You'll get lots of updates across the weekend.
Looking forward to it eventually. Well, see, I'm off to play ground announcer at the Ipswich Jets' first trial of the second trial, but first home game trial of the season tomorrow afternoon. So I'll be following the updates along via social media. Don't worry about that. Onto the main straight we go. 3:38.27. Yusuf Cousins Lavis has got by Nichols as well. So Jason Dunn sits there in 5th. And Nico has been swamped because, he's obviously not recorded a standing lap time there because he's had an off-track or something go wrong there. So we've got an indication of the pace for everybody else. And already, Yusuf and Cousins are 0.6 clear of the rest. Nichols and Lavis. Well, trouble!
Missed his brake.
Daly and Braden Adolf.
I was about to say it's my favourite looking car is the Buzz and Hornets, and he seems to have that across most of his cars, but he's obviously been unsighted down here. Braden might have braked a bit earlier than he was anticipating, and he's just driven straight into the back of him.
Oh, bang!
No malice in
Garrett
that. He
Daly
just lost his markings, and obviously, Braden's getting back into it. He might be braking a bit earlier, so just got to obviously use a bit of caution there.
I guess that's also the difficult thing of this particular championship as well, Nick. When you look at all these guys, they're all versatile in every sense of the word with where we see them race throughout the course of the week. We can't question their versatility, but this is a new one for us. We've not run the Radical LMP2. We've not run the Circuit de la South on a broadcast race. This is new territory for all of us. And have a look at Paul Nichols now, ranging up down the inside. Gets down on the inside and job done. Switcheroo with Adam Lavis, and he is back into position number 3 as Paul Nichols now. But watch Adam Lavis.
Get a good toe down the back here, and you get another counter-strike down here into the Mulsanne corner.
The switchback is on. And Lavis will look to draw up on the outside, and he's already got by Nichols. Nichols back into the toe now as they come down to the braking zone. Now, who's got the better brakes down here? It's Lavis.
It's on replay now. See, Nico took a tighter line through there as they
Indeed, he did.
send themselves down towards Indianapolis there. Oh, someone off in the background.
So this is lap 2.
How good are these F1 liveries on these cars?
They are fantastic. There's no doubt about that. What I was going to say, to go back to the point, just to ask the question.
Having a look. Sorry.
Oh, gee, he couldn't get back up there on the inside. How difficult is it for these guys, not knowing the track and car combo until an hour, or like a day before, knowing that they're going to get, unless they've got the day off work, they're going to get very limited practice in these cars when they get home from work on the Friday afternoon. And given that this is such a big change compared to the other cars that we normally run, A, throughout the week, and B, on a Friday night as well.
I love it. It keeps it fresh, so it actually is, I guess, in a sense, raw. Whereas you'll see, I guess, official races in iRacing, I generally try and race at the start of the week because it's raw. I know the track where it goes, but I don't know exactly all the little idiosyncrasies which you pick up during the race. You'll find that, especially with as the week wears on, people getting faster and faster and faster because they're getting all this practice in, and that's the same thing with having a calendar that's already up and ready to go. It may not show the person's raw pace because they've actually worked at it, which is not a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but I love the rawness of it. Just jump in, deep end, go, see what you can do.
Across the line we go. We're on to lap 3. Yusuf and Cousins, 1.1 the margin. Adam Laver sits third. He's got Paul Nichols covered at the moment. Adam Coughlin and Jason Dunn there on screen at the moment. Well clear of Brad Nutthoff and Jared Daly. So all 8 that started still in the race. Thank Christ. So Gary Cousins has lost a little bit of ground here to Andre Yusuf, but this guy has been the foreman of Freaky Friday, Gary Cousins. There's no doubt about that. 2 round wins thus far, sitting pretty on the points table. And just by showing up tonight, he's going to be rewarded with an extension of his championship lead, I think.
100%. He's almost guaranteed to get a top 5, isn't he? Almost a podium, actually, sorry.
Yes. Exactly. And given his lap speed compared to those around him, I'd say it's a long shot not seeing him in first, second, and third. Something would have to go drastically wrong.
Yeah. Going back to your previous point, though, the rawness of it, which keeps you guessing, keeps you waiting. Obviously, I'd love to see more drivers on here. I might have to reduce the IndyCar practice time to get those guys to come in here.
That's it, exactly.
But obviously life gets in the way for a lot of people too. But the fact that some of these guys don't even get to look at it till they get into the practice server, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's raw pace. See how quickly you can adapt. See how quickly you can get up to pace, and work it out on the fly. Which is something to say like if we wind back to the NASCARs, that Brenton Hobson was quite good at. He'd jump across Friday night all 3 races back then and just work it out on the fly, and somehow he got a triple win on one of them.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the much sought after jewel in the crown last year, the triple treat on the Friday night. No doubt about that. Hey, 30 minutes and 30 seconds to go. We're only 3 laps into this race. As I say, it's only a 40-minute race. Our Friday night races have gone from being 45 to 40 minutes, but that's okay. You're still getting a plenty bang for your buck here with the Gentleman Sim Racing Club because we bring it to you 4 nights a week, ladies and gentlemen. We're overcommitted in 2021. There's no doubt about that across Simshed Broadcasting and also our Gentleman Sim Racing Club broadcast page. We go back to Andre Youssef at the front of the field now, 2.8 laps in, so he's on the run home on this lap. Showing good pace, showing good promising signs that this might just be his night over Gary Cousins at the moment, Adam Lavis. But, again, easy to come unstuck around here without realising it, and very easy as a result of how fast and how much speed these cars are carrying and going to lose a lot of time with one small slip up as they head back towards the timing tower and the pit complex here. Have a look at all the buildings around the side there. How good's that? And back to the main straight, of course. This circuit, more commonly known, apart from the Le Mans 24-hour, for hosting the French Motorcycle Grand Prix on the Bugatti circuit. There's also a 24-hour motorcycle race held here and so many other great events as well. But the jewel in the crown is sports cars on the second weekend in June, which for those of you in progressive and civilised parts of the country coincides with the public holiday on the Monday this year. June 12, 13, the holiday, the Queen's birthday holiday, is the 14th. And that's a big weekend of motor racing because on the Monday morning, not long after the mile wraps up, Nick, you'll be able to sit there and watch Formula One. So I don't think I'll be moving too far from the couch that weekend.
Yeah, exactly. It's chock-a-block during the Northern Hemisphere summer. Quickly, Andre Youssef for the new fast lap of 3:31.3. Bought a bit more time with Gary Cousins there, and then as you trickle through the field, it's just little mistakes and the time start blowing out. And I saw Paul Nichols was off track again, so he's now fallen to 6th position.
Looking forward to getting Nico's analysis of this race when we have him for the IndyCar guest commentary role in about half an hour's time. Here's Paul Nichols coming off through the chicanes, coming out of the main straight. He's just going to light it up too much on the... Oh, no, he got sent. He got sent by Jason Dunn. Or was it Coughlin? Might have been Coughlin. It was Coughlin. My apologies. Oh, dear. So there's Dunn in 4th. He's the big beneficiary of all that because he's got by Coughlin and Nichols. But they're both going to come back with a wet sail, I'd say. Try and track him down. But look at the difference now. Look at the margins. And this is the thing too. We mentioned this last night in the broadcast. I don't know how much of it you saw, Nick. We definitely heard from you in the post-race show. We've documented that. But one thing that we had to be mindful of last night was the risk versus reward of pitting with minor damage so early on in a race and turning your one-stop into a two-stop strategy. How important is it? I mean, yes, it's difficult. But how important is it to, if you can, just run with a slightly wounded car, a few dents and scrubs here and there, to get to that pit window so as to not compromise your race any further?
Well, sometimes it depends on the rules of the race. So if this has no yellows, yeah, you're going to have to try and run as far as you can with a damaged car. But something like the Indy cars that are coming up, there's a safety car coming. There's a competition caution coming at some point in the race. So it's not always a bad thing. It happened to me on Monday night in the Stone Colds after the broadcast. I had a very short FG Falcon after the first lap at Bathurst there. I pitted, and then it put me just slightly off strategy, and then the safety car caught us all back up. I jumped some more guys in the pit stops because I didn't have to put as much fuel in, because I just pitted, so on and so forth. And then, there's a number 1 next to my name. So in a race where there's no safety cars, yeah, you're going to have to limp it around as best as you can, which is unfortunate. But once again, I don't think these will have safety cars anyway. So minimizing, and everybody knows I don't like getting X's, touches, anything like that. It annoys me. So
you pride yourself on clean racing.
Well, that's it. The less damage you have as well, the faster the car will go. Because as soon as you get damage, you lose just a little bit of aerodynamic downforce, a little bit of straight line speed. The car's a little bit more harder to handle. So it just compromises everything. I don't want that. I want the best car, the sharpest tools at the end of the race. Just keep going, kind of thing.
Indeed. Hey, I mentioned Real World Motorsport firing back up this weekend. Our good friends down at Wakefield Park in Goulburn are offering free entry to spectators for round 1 of the New South Wales Motor Racing Championship. Andre Youssef has just clocked a new fastest lap, 3 minutes 30. He's in the 30s, 0.69. Very nicely done. He's 4.4 seconds now ahead of Gary Cousins. Adam Lavis is a long way back. Jason Dunn behind him and Adam Coughlin. There's no real battles to speak of on the circuit at the moment. So Nick and I are just going to keep talking smack here and hope that you enjoy it. Lap 5 of this 40-minute race. We're heading for probably 12. I don't think they'll sneak 13 laps in here. It's got to be 12 because 3.5 times 2 is 7 and 7 times 6 is 42. So, and that's where we're going with the maths there. So we'll go a little bit over that 40-minute mark, but we should get 12 laps in here tonight, pending how long the run through pit lane is at some point, because they'll be coming back to the line very close to that 40-minute mark on lap 11, I would assume.
Yes. I agree with all of that, but I was just about to point out, I think Braden spun on the exit of the Ford chicane, and now he's got very hot tyres, and he's very oversteery now. So watch him trying to get around as gently as possible, maybe come around and pit this lap through and then get some new boots on that car. Which, by the way, they do separate to the fuel, so you're going to make your pit stop longer. You ideally want to keep the same tyres on and just top her up with fuel. So
the more we talk, the more it sounds like we're going for an 11-lap race here, folks. But that's okay. It's still 24 minutes of that to go. Andre Youssef, the fastest man on the circuit. And just to finish the point about Wakefield Park as well, finally some action here with Adam Coughlin all over the back of Jason Dunn. And having looked down the outside, have a look at that. Straight by goes Coughlin. The fourth. Dunn had no choice but to tuck him behind there as they head for the chicane.
He's on a mission, but he hasn't got any damage from the contact with Nico, so he's still got his straight line speed.
How keen would you be if you were Nico to just protest that and make sure that he doesn't end up finishing there?
Could happen. Could happen. Sorry, go on.
I was mentioning Wakefield Park. Sorry, we got sidetracked with finally a battle on the track here. Goulburn, lovely part of the world, freezing part of the world in winter and too hot in the summer. There's no in between. And it doesn't matter when you're down there, the commentary box is always like a sauna because the hot air blows up from the air conditioner and it just makes it about 20 degrees hotter than anywhere else in the premises. But it's a lovely track. It's great racing on this weekend. Round 1 of the Motorsport Australia New South Wales Championships. Free admission for spectators. So get in there and check that out. Formula V always turn on the fireworks at Wakefield Park in Goulburn. So looking forward to hearing how all that goes. Braden Adolph just loses control in a straight line. A little bit of a shimmy. And that's a pirouette that took a long while to come to an end. And he turns it back around. But they're a mongrel of a thing to try and turn back around, Nick.
Yeah, look, traction control gets in there, so you can't spin turn it. Lucky there's a thin field, because I tell you what, if he had 30 other guys behind him, he'd have to stay still for a very long time. But when they get the shimmies on, it's not good, especially with overheated rear tyres like that.
And on the subject of motor racing events, Queensland's Morgan Park will host the opening round of the Motorsport Australia Queensland Championships a month from tomorrow. So make sure you get out there and check that out as well. It's always worth the trip out to Morgan Park in Warwick. I don't mind trips to regional parts of Queensland. I mean, it's all the same up here. As I say, an hour behind you may as well be 112 years. But Morgan Park does throw up some great racing as well.
Oh, great facility. It's just a fair way out.
Yes, exactly. Especially for those on the north side. Andre Youssef, Gary Cousins, Adam Lavis, Adam Coughlin, Jason Dunn, Paul Nichols, Jared Daly, Braden Adolph having another off-track excursion we've heard. Here's the flashback for you. You always know someone's in trouble when these come up.
Yeah, and you can see, what's going on there?
It just looks like the car's crabbing all over the place. And if it wasn't beforehand, it will be now.
He's trying to get it back to the pits. Maybe he's got another one now. Maybe get it. Either
that, or he's just wanting to get the sponsors to run on the broadcast. I don't know.
It'd be good if we had like a code 60, like an old Nürburgring or Le Mans code 60, where everybody has to push the limiter. Maybe bunch it back up again or something, just for the Mulsanne, and then go again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm all for that. Anything to spice this up at the moment.
That's why Indycar as a competition caution. That's
exactly right. But although that being said, to be fair, as week 1 proved, it was the race that we didn't have on broadcast for many reasons. IndyCar doesn't need a competition caution, but it does help. Paul Nichols, big moment there, but a good save as well from him. Hope you're enjoying Friday Night Motorsport for the Gentleman Sim Racing Club and all of our great loyal supporters and sponsors. And a particular shout out to Sharp Extensive I.T and Motorfocus Quality Scale Models, of course, because Friday night doesn't happen without their inputs. So it's good to have them on board. We're in double digits now as far as club sponsors are concerned. Membership's up over 460, as the boys have correctly pointed out, one of the biggest sim racing clubs anywhere in the country at the moment, and it's just going gangbusters.
Yes, and we have probably the highest variety as well.
True.
There's a lot of just dedicated V8 supercar clubs and a lot of GT clubs, but we got that and more.
As proven here, especially on a Friday night with the IndyCars coming up from Sonoma. Now, of course, that'll be on the famed IRL configuration, I would take it.
Yes, it is. We got a flashback now. What's
This
happening
doesn't
here?
sound good to me. Paul Nichols in trouble, coming into the braking zone.
Into the Mulsanne straight.
Bye-bye.
Too quick. Yeah, round she goes.
There's the loop, if you don't mind.
So this is the furthest point away on the circuit from the pits, and in the actual race, they sit guys with their team radios on that blue wall there on the right, so they can communicate from pits to car and car to pits. Incredible
the amount of logistics, the amount of effort that goes into pulling something like a Le Mans 24-hour off, especially when you look at the scope of the venue they've got to work with, and the technology and the communication equipment required to make all that happen, communicating from the other half of the circuit. So I love it. It's just a shame that it's not on television. There's streaming options, sure, that's great, but it's not the same. You don't buy as much as we can say this sitting here talking about sim racing, you don't buy a television to watch a computer, and you don't buy a computer to sit on there and watch a television. I mean, sim broadcasting and online programming, great, but when you're used to seeing sporting events televised on a television that you specifically buy to watch it on, and it then ends up going behind a paywall and going online, geez.
Two in the pits, Adam Coggan, Jason Dunn. They've entered pit lane. They haven't stopped yet.
So too, Jared Daly.
Yeah, just on the Le Mans thing. Yeah, look, like Audi said in one of their documentaries, when do you start planning for the next one? The following day. It takes a good 12 months of planning and logistics just to get it right. So 4 cars in now. Adam Coughlin's come to a stop. Jason Dunn, Jared Daly, and Paul Nichols all in the pit lane. So they must be towards the end of their fuel window, or have enough room in the tank to make it to the end.
To be fair, we're at lap 7 now. They've completed 6, so they're not going to get to 13. So that's fair, half and half. And just have a look at how dark it's getting there. We're going to finish in the dark here, ladies and gentlemen. This is like normally, like you watch the Le Mans 24-hour, it doesn't get dark till half past 9 in the evening, and it's a beautiful, beautiful sight. Sim time at the moment tells me that it's 6:52, so not even 7 o'clock, and that's because it's still winter and it's not daylight saving as well.
Yeah, that'll be it.
There. So that's exactly why you're going to see this thing finish in the dark, folks.
All right, quick pit report. Out of all those cars to have stopped, Adam Coglin's come out. First of the pit stoppers in 4th position with a 21.5 second stop. Jason Dunn follows him out with a 20.9 second stop. Jared Daly with a 19.2 second stop. Paul Nichols with a 22.8 second stop. Those guys are all about 4 to 10 seconds apart there. So Adam Coglin's the guy to watch. He is the first car to have stopped. There it is on your screen.
So let's wait and see when Yusuf Cousins and Lavis come in, because they're the only ones yet to stop. And Adolf's about to go, if he hasn't already, go a lap down here.
So he'll hold him again. Yeah, off tracks just flash up on the screen then. So Yusuf,
he'll be off on the side here somewhere. Or Braden Adolf.
Yeah. Andre Yusuf just putting on a clinic right now. Just, I guess he's getting in practice for June.
Yeah,
this car,
exactly right.
This car is very popular at the moment, having been a newly released car, or somewhat newly released car. And it's a formula that is reasonably easy to drive. Here he goes, flashing his lights. Is he coming in? Here he comes.
There we go. Andre Yusuf in the lane. First and only stop for him in this race tonight. And this is going to be the second race that we broadcast you this week, ladies and gentlemen, that started in the light and finished in the dark. How spectacular did Sebring look under lights the other night? I mean, I know you're not a huge fan of that circuit, mate, but that looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it did, especially the brakes glowing and the like. Gary Cousins in right behind him too.
There we go.
So will Gary short Phil and try and get closer to him?
Well, this is the thing, right? Gary Cousins, he has not led a lot of laps in Freaky Friday, but he's usually made something happen in the pit window and turned it around.
Exactly. And we got Adams in as well. So all three in. We just got to watch Adam Coghlan. He's a minute and 4 behind. He's just coming through in Indianapolis into a nudge now. So he's still a good, just over a third of a lap behind.
I'm going to say I don't think he's any sort of threat at the moment. 16.5 to go. So Yusuf out. Nicely done. And clear and comfortable.
18-second stop.
Didn't take long at all, did it?
So he's probably put less fuel in because he hasn't got as far to go now as well. But Gary Cousins out with a 21-second stop. There you are, see it on your screen.
Now, what's interesting here, look at the clock. 14 minutes to go. I just have this nasty feeling that when we get to the end of lap 11, Yusuf might just have a couple of seconds up his sleeve and we might sneak a 12th lap in. There you go. Not that it's going to affect anybody greatly. Actually, fan question. Someone by the name of M. Porter. For you, Nick Fodiatis. Who is going to win the IndyCar race?
I just replied to him. I said, me? Question mark? I don't know. It's the 4 winners in 4 weeks. There's so many balls in the air. There's so many good guys that haven't even got onto the top 5 or a podium. You just don't know.
You are due. I mean, you missed out by the perilously close margin of 0.01 last week. So, I mean, you are due. Let's be perfectly honest. But there are other guys like Angus Cook and Jackson Rayhana that are also winless so far.
Well, Angus got the win last week.
Oh, sorry, no, Angus got the win last week. Sorry, yeah. Jackson more specifically.
Jackson and Brady McHugh. There's just the field is just so thick with talent, and there's a lot of guys that are coming up that are doing really well. Look at that.
Sorry, McHugh is the name I was looking for.
Nice peachy background there. And there's a lot of guys that are really taking it to the top. Like, I think, was it De Rossi got a pole last week? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Yeah, so, I mean, we all congratulated him in the server too. He was very happy with that. So, in terms of speed, it's going to be tough to choose. It's going to be the person who makes the least amount of mistakes. And knowing what I do... Oh, who's this? Was that Gary off the road there at the Mulsanne corner?
Flash traffic's flashback here for you. And we'll have a look and see. Jason Dunn in a little bit of trouble coming into
very fast into the Ford chicane here. I've got a feeling. Yep, there it goes.
Bang. Now, yeah, for some reason, I've just got in this very bad habit in the last couple of broadcasts of mixing Brady McHugh and Angus Cook up. McHugh was the name I was looking for, as in, yes, you, Rayhana, and McHugh have not scored a win yet. So let's go through while we've got a chance here as we have a look at Gary Cousins coming down to the end of the back straight.
Too late on the brakes. Too much speed, into the gravel.
Yeah.
Bucking and spade
See you later. Thanks very much. So qualifying last week, yeah, you're right. Sorry, Rick Vincent got the
Rick Vincent, my apologies. Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking your late car for some reason.
No, exactly. Jackson Rayhana with quali the week before. In round 2 at Michigan, it was Brett Wilson. And round 1, I'm just scrolling down further down my leaderboard here to find the pole sitter for round 1. But it looks like we've had 4 different pole sitters and 4 different race winners as well. So there's a pole person forming in the IndyCar series as well, which is extraordinary.
Yeah, I'll look, in answer to Mr. M. Porter's question, that's probably more of a question mark than anything else. I think by about half race distance, you'll kind of get your top 5 is my guess. And then you can kind of make your best inference from there and go to Sportsbet.
Exactly. It'll come as no surprise to anyone when I say this. Michael Hammond had pole for round 1. I had to scroll all the way down the order because we haven't seen him since. So, but that's okay.
I He's a
Race
road
winner
course
so
ringer.
far, of course.
He's a
Sorry?
road course ringer. He's a road course ringer. He won't do the ovals. He'll do
Yes.
the road courses. As much
That's
as
right,
and he's
exactly.
good on ovals, he just doesn't want to do them.
Chris Stark won week 1, Adam Lavis week 2, and week 3 was Bevan Moyes, of course. Week 4, Angus Cook. So 4 rounds, 4 different pole sitters, 4 different winners. The stats keep just racking up. We're breaking records all over the place as far as that IndyCar series is concerned. Final 10 minutes here. Have a look at this.
Jason Dunn's right on the back of Jared Daly here, so I don't know if we'll get to him, but here we are. This is the closest fight, and it's all lights now, so you can kind of make out colours, but yes, the yellow car is Jared Daly, and Jason Dunn's on his clacker.
Now, I just want Queensland viewers to see that beautiful sunset there in France and just realise that you will never see anything as picturesque as that while ever you live in Queensland. You've got to go overseas, you've got to go interstate to see something as beautiful as that. You'll never see a sunset like it up here in Queensland. A, they're too early in the day, and B, it's just, yeah, that's the main point. So,
we had it in the early 90s. I remember kicking the footy at 8 o'clock at night as we got a pass here.
brilliant move. Jason Dunn and Jared Daly.
1/10 of a second between them. So they're going side by side. There you go.
And Dunn slices in front.
Watch for the counter attack on the next straight. There's a toe behind these things.
Extraordinary, isn't it? It's a very strong toe, and that provided that you get a clean run out of the chicane, which Daly has done, and watch the weaving begin. Weave from left to right, try and break the toe. And stitch up the foot screen.
Daly's going to pop out here. He's going to have the inside for the chicane too. There we go. Look at the speed.
So beautifully done. Daly back down the inside of Dunn. This is the battle for 5th, but it's the only battle we've got to talk about at the moment, folks. So just enjoy it. That is a very nice manoeuvre from Jared Daly.
Counter strike down here, down into the Mulsanne corner. You're going to see another attack. It's a great thing about this track.
And this is the thing too. With this pressure being applied here, chances are we might see someone forced into a mistake, or this move here from Dunn on Daly. He backed out of it, actually. He backed out of it. So Daly gets to breathe the sigh of relief for the moment. That might be all he needs.
The thing is, if you had attack down there, you can then re-attack along this straight too. So maybe he's thinking, hold on, this straight leads into a couple tight corners. Hopefully I can break him and then have a good run up to the Porsche curve. So Dunn is in hot pursuit of Daly. Coming into the Indianapolis corner, it's very fast, just a slight lift. Some cars are flat, then brake really hard down for third gear into the actual Indianapolis corner, and then the slowest corner on the track, the Arnage corner. Need a good run. Daly's turned in early there, so he's carried too much speed.
Oh, he's wide! Dunn goes through! Daly on the attack again, on the defensive, trying to hold Dunn at bay, forced into a mistake, goes wide, and undoes all the hard work.
You see, he actually turns it in early because he's carrying too much speed. And that was the dead giveaway. When you're following somebody, that's the things you look out for. And yeah, onto the AstroTurf, and you just got to hold it and now follow through the Porsche curves.
So excited for this IndyCar race. I cannot wait. We're looking forward to it. I know we've been talking about IndyCar while there's a sports car race going on here, folks, but I mean, it's been the main course for a reason on a Friday night this year. And as much as we love our stock cars, there's a lot of momentum behind IndyCar at the moment. So we're looking forward to having some stock car racing in Season 2 and IndyCar back in Season 3. Don't worry about that.
Who we got here on screen? I'm assuming it's on Andre Yusuf. He has set 3 minute 30s the last couple of laps as well. So he's getting faster as it gets darker.
Yeah, exactly.
So
330.69, 330.73. Certainly in the zone, all right. Where are we with regards to the clock? Less than 6 minutes to go. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to sneak in lap 12. Yeah.
It's going to screw a lot of people over. They didn't fill it up enough.
Well,
Adam Lavis off the track somewhere. I just see on my timing screen.
Fantastic. Great to have you company wherever you're tuning in, but have a look at this, unfortunately, for Adam Lavis. His race comes unstuck. I love the fact that we're ending in the dark.
the irony of this is he's the one that came up with the saying "flash graphics, flash back."
Yeah,
He's run wide at turn 1. He's missed his braking point and just had to crawl through the dirt and come out the other side and take his slow down.
actually, yeah, I was going to say that's not turn 1 though. That was
Sorry, the
halfway
first
down,
chicane. First
down
chicane,
the
sorry.
straight.
My
Yeah,
apologies.
correct. Chris Kisby's in the commentary box for the first time this evening. Good evening to
Good
you.
evening. And a very good evening to you, Zach, Nick, and JP. What a night. I'm ready for some
what I
real
figured
racing
down there.
tonight.
I was going to say, what's in the water down there at the moment? You sound a little bit more excited than usual, Kisby.
Oh, mate, I'm on top of the world. I got cleared for cancer, but I'm
Excellent.
feeling really good.
Good news. Very good news. Chris Kisby just sharing personal news that not many
sorry,
people
guys.
share in the middle of a broadcast with everyone in the broadcast, but we'll all cheer on that, mate. That's good news.
Yeah.
Cancer.
What's that?
FCK cancer. I won't put the other letter in.
Yes, yeah. So I got all the clear on that. There's still a couple of problems there, but they'll fix that out. But they're telling me it's definitely not the cancer coming back. So I'm on top of the world.
And of course, it's good to have you back on board because you're in race control for us. Of course, when we get stuck into the IndyCars, mate, you must be looking forward to that.
Yes, we do, mate. I'm taking a back seat in there at the moment, but I'm trialling a new system tonight, which hopefully will alleviate any accident. You don't need to go near that helmet.
No, not at all. Oh, Adam Coughlin's got a big one. Massive moment for Coughlin, but he kept it on the track. He didn't end up hitting the wall as fiercely as we thought he might have, but he gives it a little bit of a tap there on the inside. Hey, Braden Adolph's pulled out of this race, but he's kind enough to join us in the commentary box and have a chat. Good evening, mate. Talk us through what happened.
Just like Nico said, heated up the rear wheels and just couldn't control it, man. Got the speed wobbles going on and tried to save it, but that was it.
I was going to say, with regards to the sponsors, though, for all the wrong reasons, they've had plenty of airtime tonight.
Oh, yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. I'm pretty sure they're pretty happy with me for it, but not for the right reasons.
Of course, the up-and-comers going so well for you at the moment.
Yes.
You're obviously enjoying broadening the horizons, as they say, and getting back out there and trying your hand at other series.
Yeah, absolutely. I've only had 3 races with the up-and-comers, and luckily enough, got up to 6 in the standings at the moment. Great season. Thank you for Frisbee to hosting it.
You won't be there long, mate, because I'll be overtaking you.
Yeah. Let's see about that, Frisbee. It's a fantastic season. I love what they're doing with it. But no, I thought I'd come around and see what else is available. Try and broaden my horizon, become a better all-round driver.
Of course, you picked a fairly steep and stiff challenge this week with sports cars around Le Mans.
Oh, definitely, mate. Actually, the first car I ever drove on iRacing was a V8 supercar around Bathurst. So
yep,
you've got
there's another challenge in its own right. Yeah.
You've got to.
Just quickly, sorry to cut in there. We've got Adam Coughlin back in the lane as well. So not sure what's going on, but Adam Coughlin back in the lane. And we've got Gary Cousins coming back towards the line, 38.24. 0.3 of a lap to go for Andre Youssef. I think we sneak one more in by a good margin of 10 to 15 seconds here. So this is big because everyone's going to have to account for a 12th and final lap.
Yes, if they haven't fueled up enough as well. Yeah, if they haven't fueled up enough, they could be in trouble here.
I thought I was going blind because it was black when I came into the stream.
Oh, we've had a beautiful sunset, Kisby, better than anything you'll have ever seen in Queensland. But we've had a beautiful sunset.
So you won't beat that.
You won't beat Tasmanian sunsets, especially in summer. They're later than anyone. Now, back to Braden very quickly before we get totally out of control here. What else have you got your eye on, mate? Because obviously, Nick and I were mentioning it halfway through the call here. Not that we've had too much to call tonight, but there's so many varieties of championships. We cater to so many different disciplines and formulas here. What have you got your eye on after the up-and-comers?
Well, after up-and-comers, I'm not guaranteed that I will make it out of this season, but definitely next season I'll be there. But I definitely dabble in the V8 supercars in second split, just to get more wheel time and learn how to drive the car. I'm thinking about joining the Indianapolis 500, maybe
Nice.
bust that out. But yeah, I'm just looking to widen my range of driving and just become a better all-round solid driver.
Nick, I hope we're doing an Indy 500 style bash for your birthday again this year.
100%.
Oh,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
Brett.
I'll definitely be there for that.
Is
All
the
for
sky
that.
blue? Yes, it's happening. Is water wet?
Oh, yeah.
It's happening.
Also,
And
also on the name of Adam Coughlin, he just joined Legacy Sim Sports, so that's another boy in up and comers that we have.
there you go. And this is the thing too, because it's hard to keep up with these signings because they're happening left, right, and centre. Nick, it won't
Yeah,
be too long, and we'll be having an iRacing draft for all these team signings. It's off the scale at the moment.
Well, I mean, it's always two heads are better than one. It's always better to work in teams, and you see it in supercars all the time. When there's more cars in a team, you can go down different data tracks and figure out stuff that's going on. Teams and friendship improves the breed, and just makes for better all-round racing. So I know in my particular team, we have dollars coming in, so that's part of it, and some of these other teams do as well.
Well, see, guys should get
Very
a
nice to
percentage
see.
for bringing these guys up through up and comers. Yeah, look how good they're getting.
Maybe you should be like a
Kisby, after
Flavio.
your cut.
Yeah, I was about to say, be a Flavio Briatore, and everything that they earn or win, you get a cut of it.
I got a cut of it, yeah.
Because everything Mark Webber earned went half of it. Was it half of it or a third of it went to Flavio? Something
Wow.
along those lines.
Yeah, it's a big sum. There's none about that. Hey, let's get Andre Yusuf across the line here, and then we'll worry about all the other pleasantries that can be exchanged. This has been a terrific performance from Yusuf on his way home. About 0.4 of a lap to go here. It's been a tremendous performance. He's led all the way. Gary Cousins gave him a little bit of a hurry up in the early stages, but has not been able to go with him tonight. And Cousins is now 20 seconds down the road. This is Andre Yusuf's time to shine in the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. And Nick, the array of different winners we've had in 5 weeks of 4 nights a week of broadcast, I mean, the list just keeps growing.
Well, that's what we want. We want the competition to be that close that the first person who blinks misses out, kind of thing. So another person can come through. I'm hoping us with the IndyCars, I should say, the group of IndyCar drivers are setting that example. No two tracks are going to be ever the same. The disciplines are spread out now, and it's good. Variety is the spice of life, and some people shine on certain tracks, some people won't.
We weren't with you for the first week, which was the Formula One cars around the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, but this was the guy that won. So there's something about long race tracks and big horsepower cars that suit this guy to a T. And you can't think of anything faster than Formula One or sports cars at the Circuit de la Sarthe. And this guy will draw level with Gary Cousins, 2 wins apiece in this championship. But Cousins still has the edge through having been on the grid a little bit more throughout the course of the series thus far. Andre Yusuf, dominant at Le Mans, wins Freaky Friday at the Circuit de la Sarthe in convincing fashion. And at this point in time, we'll wish Nick all the best because he's about to go off and prepare himself for IndyCar, mate. We'll check in with you post-race. Thank you.
Tell you what, if I want one person to be driving with me at the 12 hour, it'd definitely be Yusuf.
Oh, absolutely.
You wouldn't want
Whoever
me?
got hit-
Oh, thanks very
Sorry,
much.
Cruzy. After your Bathurst 1000 performance last year, mate, I'd a bit scared to stick with you.
Whilst it's into the box on
No,
a Friday night,
No,
he just
he absolutely destroyed
has
me.
the sledging going left, right, and centre. More of that, please.
Oh, I've got to
We
give
can
him.
handle the sledging.
I've got to give him something. He gives me it all the time at the up and comers. So got to give it back sometime.
Kisby, it's guys like Braden that the up-and-comers help showcase, and it's been a terrific concept. You must be very proud of the fact that you've been able to establish this series, grow it, and then get it into a broadcast every Wednesday night so that we can showcase the guys that are in the not-too-distant future going to be up there, being the Michael Hammonds, the Brenton Hobsons, the Jackson Rayhanas, the guys fighting for race wins.
Yeah, I am, Zach. And all kudos to Braden. He's still got a bit to learn. along with a few others, and myself. So they learn these things in up and comers. It's good that they get airtime because it gives them an incentive to do a few things. I mean, they can go off into any of the other broadcasts and race in those as well. But this gives them their foundation, the up and comers, and it's the reason why I've downed the fast repairs. It's the reason that I get hard on the chatter. I get hard on incidences, because if they don't learn it in up and comers, they'll take it through to the others and spoil it for themselves and for other races.
Indeed. Paul Nichols is going to join us in the broadcast booth very shortly. There are the results for you, ladies and gentlemen. Andre Yusuf home by 22.4 seconds. A long way back then to Adam Lavis, equally as long back to Jason Dunn. 20 seconds back to Paul Nichols, and Jared Daly was a distant sixth. Adam Coughlin 2 laps down. Brad not off the only retirement of the race. Mate, actually, he just left. I was about to say thanks for stopping by. I take it back. He's just gone by and left uninvitedly. Anyway, thank you to Braden Adolf. Thank you to you, Chris Kisby. Paul Nichols jumping in. We'll check in with him shortly. Adam Lavis, quickly, because you've just jumped in and I know you're on a tight timeline here, whatever the case may be. What do you make of Freaky Friday at Le Mans? Your concept, the vote, a very interesting one this week, and the car and track combination, already a favourite of mine, just not enough cars on the grid to showcase why we love sports car racing at this circuit.
Yeah, everyone was very excited when it came out, but I think the problem was, like, not many people own the car yet, possibly, and so may not be ready to open their wallets right about now for Freaky Friday. So, but hopefully, other than that, it was like the other events have been good. We've got plenty of other combinations to go, so there's should be still good from now on. Just see how we go.
Well, that's exactly right. Quickly, your thoughts on that race, because you ended up coming home in a podium position there.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Me and Nico tried to put a little bit of entertainment there at the start there for you to give you something to talk about.
We did appreciate that. Thank you. Yes.
Then he fell back into the clutches of the of the slowdown penalty demons. So that slowed him up. But,
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me, Adam.
But other than that, I just kept on going, just trucked away. I almost had a 0x, but I made one mistake. So unfortunately, one mistake too many.
One mistake too many, but mate, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Go and get yourself stuck into IndyCar. Thank you for quickly stopping by and having a chat to us there. We appreciate that.
Have a good evening.
And you too. And on that note, we'll get to Paul Nichols on the other side of the break. We're going to take a pit stop here. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to get stuck into some IndyCar racing. Chris Kisby's, I think Kisby's going to stick with us here because he's not as prominent in race control now, because we've got the boys from Race Control 24/7 in the swing of things. And we'll get both Paul and Chris to elaborate on that as we go forward here. But it's the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. It's Friday Night Motorsport. It's on SimShed Broadcasting. It's a win to Andre Yusuf comfortably in the end over Gary Cousins and Adam Lavis. We're here with thanks to the great people, of course, at Rockdale Volkswagen, Sharp Extensive I.T, Flash Graphics, Stone Cold Racing, Adam St. John, and the great people at the Walbundry Hotel. How could I forget? They're back in business tonight. Get drinking, boys.
Walbundry Hotel. Is that
Here we go.
Walbundry Hotel.
That's it. Ocular aerial photography, simple computers, LJ Hooker Gaindar, Motorfocus quality scale models, Sharp Extensive I.T, I've already mentioned, and of course, Central Coast Motor Group, Fleet and Corporate are breaking back with IndyCar, and we're very excited about that. We're going road course racing. We're off to Sonoma in California, 45 laps. Looking forward to this one immensely. It's coming up next, right here on the Friday Night Motorsport doubleheader for the Gentleman Sim Racing Club, live and exclusive to SimShed Broadcasting.